Okay, guys, as you go transitioning from the V4, the V4 Alt on to the UAP V3 and on to learning how to use the MOWG system for custom runs and stuff, just as far as you want to go, a lot of questions come up that are leading towards the V3. Basically, people are saying, what about footprints? The answer is continue the training with the UAP V3 and on. And the fact of the matter is, I want to go ahead and break down some of those concepts for you by just giving you a taste. When I say the V4 and the V3 is really like 5% of what you can do with the MOWG Pro, and how you can eliminate any footprint. There's no such thing as a footprint we've ever seen that we can't erase where the footprint is even an issue. And that's the first thing I want to point out. Footprints are rampant on websites. Google knows that eBay has a header image that is referenced on millions of different web pages. That's already a footprint that all those web pages use that header image. Google completely anticipates lots of footprints. It sees where you build a page for every different city in the nation, and it doesn't see that as a problem unless you're doing something black hat. What we're doing is not. Okay, Google likes it when you can fill their algorithms with particular things for particular people, and when you go for local content, they love that too. It's all good. They can have pages at the ready for anything anyone searches for. All right, anyway, there's no such thing as a footprint we can't either erase or at least control, and I'll be able to show you some quick examples of that because it's going to blow your mind if you haven't thought about it, and especially if you haven't really gotten into the V3 yet and you're starting to understand what's possible. All right, so first thing I want to make a point of is that you can actually make anything on the page a VAR. I mean, we have a lot of VARs. This is a token for a VAR. The VAR itself is VAR 11. This signifies that it is not supposed to be a word, it's supposed to be a command. The command for MOWG Pro is whenever it sees VAR 11 token, this token VAR 11, then it needs to go look up VAR 11 on the VAR sheet, find VAR 11, no matter where it is, no matter what the order, and it has to choose one of these things to put in there as a word. Notice how if the word is a or the and it doesn't have any spaces before or after it, then I have to be careful to make sure there's a space before and a space after because I want the space to be there. If I broke the space, then yes, the a or the would become part of this word here, var 12. Again, var 12 does not need to be next to it on the sheet. It could be, but it doesn't need to be. But anyway, that'll be a misprint, right? And it might even get in the way of some keywords. Always have spaces where spaces should go, but you don't have to. What else could be a VAR? Anything. People can make variations of their style sheets. For those of you who know what these are, you want to make a variation with a blue background on your web page, or a red, or a yellow, or a green to see which whether people respond more to the page if it's one or the other. Then you could have a style sheet, or you could have a style1.css, style2.css, so you could make this thing a var. And so you would do it. Open bracket, percentage sign, VAR, who knows what. We got to find one that we can use. Okay, so there, I just closed the rest of the coding, but I need a number. Okay, I'm going to insert a column anywhere, doesn't matter where, as long as they're always touching. Got to touch. And I want to make it something like var, who knows, 3, I'm trying to be random here, 3, 2, 5, 8. Okay, here's my question. Does that already exist or not? Control F, var, 3, 2, 5, 8, and find all. Okay, there's only one. Great, then I'm free to use it, aren't I? And that means this gets to be var 3258. And I am now completely able to use this thing. I can save that on the sheet. And since I have it on the sheet at least once, it could be in multiple places. But since I do, therefore, the pages are going to be produced to look up whatever's there. Well, we need this. And if we create, then we can. We can create as many as we would like. We can call them anything we want. Variation, var, variation style, dash style, dot css, as long as it's real, because we're going to have to upload these to our website. They actually need to go inside that MOWG v3 files. How do you know? Or v4 files. Because that is where this thing is going to look for. It's going to look on the domain in MOWG v4 files for that style sheet. And so it's going to translate that. Okay? It will translate it. It will be what? It will be the href will be what? It'll be whatever you had on the first tab for your domain. whatever you put there, right, for the domain, MOWG-samples.com. And then, of course, this is static, so it never changes. So we're just going to put that there because it's true. And then the last part is going to be one of those choices that we just created on our var sheet. Okay, so whichever one, it's going to print it. You know, like variation style.css. And that's really going to be what it's going to put on that particular page it creates. Okay, so that's going to be what it puts here. Okay, when it creates the page, it fills in every one of these tokens with the information that matches off of this sheet. That's how it works, right? That's how MOWG works. It produces each page to match all this stuff, and that's the idea. Now I'm going to undo that because really I'm just going to leave this style.css. I could leave it there as long as what? File save. And I mean, that's perfectly fine as long as what? The stuff exists or will exist. You know, I'm going to create it, okay? Or else there's going to be broken. You're going to have broken pages otherwise. All right. All right, that was just something to keep in mind. You can make anything a var, and when I'm saying anything, I mean you could do something ridiculous. You could just like swipe some of the print off the pages, swipe across it. You could even make the var right in the middle of a word. I could cut this, and I could make that var to, who knows, 6791, as long as it doesn't exist, right? And no space before or after it. And on my var sheet, okay, insert, I may as well paste it first so I don't lose it, paste. And then I would make that var, what did I call that? 6791, var 6791. 6791. Now, why in the world anybody would make that a var, I have no clue, right? Why would you make it a var? But it will work. It will fill in every single page. It'll replace this token with exactly whatever was one of the choices from here. If that's the only choice, fine, that's the only choice. Paste, right? So it will do it, and it won't put the break. That's only because when I copy from CSS myself and do it, then it assumes I want to go to the next cell after that. All right, now I don't see any reason for that var anyway. I'm just going to take it out, delete. But that's what I mean by the capabilities you have to create what you want. Now, let's think about what that can mean, because this is like really a big deal. So let's assume that we're doing, and I thought I had backlinking VARs in this. Let me go somewhere where I got some backlinking. I want to make a point about the backlinks, all right? Because there are always questions like that. People go asking, what if, right? What if Google doesn't want to see a backlink on every single page to one of your websites? Or what if every time it sees a backlink to a certain page, okay, so here it is, there's my backlinking. Do I need the brackets only if I want? And so let me take them out to start at the beginning, okay? All right, say I'm going to do a run. I'm going to put this up. Okay, that's going to be my affiliate link, whatever it is. This is what I'm backlinking, okay? And, or just, who knows, maybe this is my website. And so every single page on my website, that's going to be whatever the backlink is. Or in the case that we're just putting these pages up on a website, and that becomes our master. And now we're going to backlink our master run by putting up more runs on other websites, then have them backlink the first. Fine. I'm going to make this MOWG-samples.com/blue flowers is a project I just created, and I'm doing it for fun. Okay, so that's the main page of my project that I just created. This is the focal point page, right? The top level page. I created just 200 pages here. Okay, in this blue flowers sitemap bit. Okay, there's a total of 200 pages on that particular thing, which of course you know that's just related for that section. But if I go here and go here, blue flowers master sitemap, then I have all of these sub sitemaps, right? And I got everything: red flowers, yellow flowers, green flowers, tall flowers, beautiful flowers, who knows, ugly flowers, single flower, bouquet. Okay, that became my menu, right? So that all my menu links can work, right? I need at least 10, right, to fill in the 10 links that go to other pages on the same website anyway. And when you click, it goes through to the destination website, right? Okay, now that's where you guys know some of the things. I'm going to show you some things that are outstanding. If you've never thought about it, you can answer your own questions. Or if you have a client that has specifications, or if Google changes the rules, what are the possibilities? You can have one link with delete, shift cells up, one word. So you can create 1,000 pages, and every single time you can use your one word. Okay, and so this will always be the anchor text for this thing at the bottom of the page. So your 1,000 pages are all going to have that printed and point to that page, that one page. And that might be because Google wants to see it that way. They want to see just one anchor text for any one page, and that's it. Now, it just depends on how they tweak their algorithms. There's no need for that, actually, and typically that doesn't even happen. But all right, let me see if I can go back. Good. Okay. Now, that's one thing. Or what can you have? You can have one page where the terms cycle. So out of your 1,000 pages, how many is this? 10? Then you're going to have like 100 pages that use that term to backlink the page, 100 different pages all mixed in that use this term to backlink, 100 different pages all mixed in that use this term. And that's perfectly fine about the all mixed in part, because they're related concepts to whatever it is you're doing on the run. All about flowers, you know, mainly blue flowers for this project. Okay, but related also, there's sections for red and yellow and green and tall and short and beautiful and single bouquet. Okay, now, so I just showed you two cases. Same word for the same link, multiple words for the same link. What else? What if I want multiple links and I want the out of my 1,000 pages, I want like my entire first 200 pages now to swap between the terms, but all these different pages to get hyperlinked. So it's not always the same link. It's a different page. Even if it's on the same site, it's a different page. Can you? And by on the same site, I'm just assuming that it's on that run. Okay, let me just show you something. I did the first 200 pages like I said, right? And I got my pages up here. And therefore I have a blue flowers master sitemap. I'm going to change this to .txt. And that just gave me all my links. I'm going to select all. I'm going to copy. There's even sitemap links in there, but I don't care. That's perfectly fine with me. I'm going to take those. I'm going to paste them right here. Boom. I may not even delete this top one. I might even still leave it in there for the choices. Okay? Now what? That's 200 or so, right? 213 because of all the 13 sitemap pages or whatever it is. And I could get rid of the sitemap pages if I want. I can do that. I can control highlight each of those sitemap links I see if I really want. Okay. And then I could just drop them, you know, delete shift cells up, that kind of thing, or use the MOWG's feature to drop. Okay, so I could do that if I want, if I actually think that's an issue, and I don't see why, but if Google ever made it an issue and I don't see why, then you could do it. Nothing stops you from choosing what you want to do. Now what? So now you got multiple choices of links, okay, and they go way, way out, all right? Multiple choices of links that could just use delete shift cells up, could just use one term. So the backlink at the bottom of every single page can always say like flowers or blue flowers, right? It could always say blue flowers. But each page it points to, when you click on it from page to page to page, one of those pages it'll point like here, one it'll point like there, one there, 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 there. So there's your third case, multiple links sharing one anchor text. Okay, let me back up. Or we can have multiple links sharing multiple anchor texts. So they'll both mix and match completely. There's going to be some in each case, but they're all going to be just however different that they are, but that's okay. They're all related. As long as they're related. I mean, you're setting that up intentionally when you think through the parameters for your run, right? And that's perfectly fine too. So you can have single link with single anchor text, single link with multiple anchor text, multiple links with one anchor text, or multiple links with multiple anchor text. And if you need to match, say I just wanted a few of these pages to get a whole lot of power, and so let's just say delete shift cells up. I wanted to match. I always wanted this page to use that anchor text. That anchor text should always go to that page. I intentionally set it up that way. How do you make that happen? You put brackets, right? And that way they always come out matched. Okay? That way, no matter how different this idea is from that idea, they always use the right word for the right link, the right word for the right link, the right word for the right link. Okay? So you can do that. Now, even past that, what if you want to absolutely cascade the cycling? What if you want to absolutely have these cycle through the words one at a time in a way? Well, you just got to offset by one. Either create one more link or create one more keyword that's also useful. I don't know what. Ugly flowers. I don't know why. But to make it easy, think about it. When you do 1,000 pages, the first pages, each page, the first page is going to use that combo. The next page uses that. Next page uses that. Next page uses it until it gets to here. Now, what's it going to have to do? It's going to have to use this again with that. Therefore, it has to use that with this now, and that with this now, that with this now, that with this now, until it gets to the bottom. Then it has to use, again, this with that, and then this with that. And so we're still offsetting. Now we're down to our third level. See? And it'll keep on rolling through the combinations. Okay? Now what else? Because what if you want to go even further? Here's one that people would ask. Let's just say I got rid of my var9, okay, and I got rid of it from the HTML page. You guys, some of you guys already have figured out how to do that stuff. You understand how it works well enough to pull it off. Then this is just going to be for backlinking. There is not going to be a var9. This is just going to be the backlinking piece. Let me show you really fast how you might do that. Edit, because this is a choice, obviously, that you have. How do you want to go that far? You can do anything you want with these pages, whatever you feel like doing. All right, let's say this. Let's say this is going to be my entire link, except I can't be having it like that, right? I need to, because it's got VARs. I can't put VARs inside of VARs. That's the only thing that makes no sense at all. Okay, but here's the point. That's kind of how the link would go. So what if I deleted it? If I want to delete it, realize I'm deleting in a note about a var 6, a var 2, a var 9, a var 7. Okay, var 6, 2, 9, and then it comes to the end. All right, so if I still have a var 6, a var 2, a var 9 disappeared. Okay, I just have to make sure that those things exist somewhere else on the page. Almost all of them do anyway. I think all of them, with the exception of the var 9 and the var 7. Those are the only ones that are not unique. So if I just deleted that link, and those of you who are advanced enough, you know how to do it, 6297, 629. Boom. Okay. Now I could just do a check. I know I got rid of 7. No, I got rid of 9. But 62 and I still need 7, right? Aha, that's what I have to do. If I undo just long enough to get it, I'm going to make that my new link. So I'm going to study what I'm going to make into my link, and I'm just going to call that var 7 now. All right, that is now what it's going to be. Is it's going to either put the backlink in or whatever else I have in var 7. There's your hint. Okay, var 6 is in here somewhere anyway. Var 2 is in here somewhere anyway. Var 9 is gone now, but that's okay because we did get rid of it and it's gone on this page. Edit, find, var 9. Oops, I'm sorry, var 9 percentage sign, because we have to get exact. There is like a var 9.1, a var 9.2, and a var 9.02, all that kind of thing. But var 9 percentage sign doesn't exist. All right, good. Now, check this out. What does that mean we can do for our backlinks? Watch this. We have less exact control or more. It just depends on how you interpret it. Let me get rid of this so we can see it better. Delete shift cells up. This is going to be something it'll put in for that var 7, but it doesn't have to be a backlink. It could be something else. And by the way, it wouldn't be, I mean, now we have to go all out with the coding because that's what we did, right? href equals, and that would be the length. Those of you who know how to do this, you're good to go, right? Target equals, this is the coolest thing about learning any of this stuff, right? This is actually considered basic HTML. All right, and I might just say blue flowers, and then I'll end A, right? Boom, there you go. So that's what it's going to insert into the page when it generates it, and so far it's the only choice. Does it look like it'll make sense? Edit, I can make sure of it, right? Wherever that var 7 is, which is right here, I can just quickly paste it in and kind of double check that this looks right and does what it's supposed to do. Yes, it does. Edit, undo. Now, what else is